Hello and welcome to this new Android development tutorial. This is part 5 of our file manager tutorial. In this tutorial we will learn how to select the file from release view and start doing some more features and more optimizations to our code. Previous time we figured out how to set up the UI. We did some adapter stuff, we set the permissions and everything was working great. Right now we will go and work a little bit more on the UI and improve it and make it simpler, more elegant and so on. So if we run the app, previously we have this on the previous tutorial. We have our title, the current directory, and we have the files. Okay, very interesting. In this tutorial, we will improve this design a little bit more. For example, if we don't want the title, because we already know this is a file manager, we can just delete it. So we will go to our XML file and select this text view and we will delete this. Now, on the path output, we may want to use path output, but we want to have a black background. So we will set the background to black and we'll set the text color to light color. Okay, and we don't really have to make this that much height. We can just set the height to wrap content. We will run the app and see how the simple aesthetic changes look now. Okay, we're compiling the app and running it, and now we should see a more smaller, so without the title, smaller top bar with the current directory. Okay, and also the other things that we haven't changed. So right now we can also go and make the rest of the fields, like these ones that show the list file, the list view. We can change them to make them a little bit smaller too. So we go and open layout item, and in height right here we will set to wrap content. Okay, if we run the app, we will see that we now will have a more slim elements of our list view. Okay, so that's okay for now. Now we will go, and if we see we don't really need a lot of garbage right here, so we don't need this storage emulated 0, all that crap. We don't really need that. So we will go into main activity.java and we will go into our onResume method right here, and when we set the text of the path output, we will change this to only display the folder we are currently in. Okay, to do that we say root path and we type dot substring, and we will say we will only start with the begin index, which will be last index of, so it will be root path that last index of, and between single quotes we will put a /, and we will run it and we will see how it looks now. So hopefully the top bar will only show download. Okay, but we don't even want this slash right here, so we can add 1 to this. So right here we will add 1 plus 1. We will run it again and we will see if the slash is gone. So the slash is now gone and we have only download as title of the current folder, which is way more elegant. Now we want to do the same with the items, so we will copy this code, which is root path, that substring and all of these, plus 1. So we will copy and we will go to our adapter And on the getView method of our adapter, we will change the holder info.setText, and it's currently set to item. And we will delete item and we'll paste what we just copied. And instead of root path, we will type item because that's the one that we need right here. So we go item dot, okay, last index of, and we will run the app to see if everything works okay. So the app is running right now, and as you can see, this is way more clean than the previous implementation. You know, just the name of the file and the extension of it. Okay, pretty cool. Right now we have a file manager that shows the current folder and shows the items that exist on that folder. But right now I want to be able to select those files. To do that, we will create a global variable outside the onResume method. Okay, we will go to our onResume method and we will create a global variable right here that will be private, a boolean array selection that will tell us which cells will be selected. Okay, and we will, when we initialize our text fields, we will do that. But before that, we will go to our text adapter getView item, and inside here we will create a new field that we'll call private boolean array, and we will name it selection. Okay, just as that. And now we will create a method that will be public. We don't really need to use public, we can just use void, I think. So void set selection, and we will pass a boolean array selection. Okay, we can optimize these later, but for now we will just do this. Okay, so here we will first check if selection is not null. Okay, we will say for I int I equals 0, I less than selection dot length. Okay, and will be I plus plus. But before these, we have to initialize the selection. So we'll go and say this dot selection equals new boolean array and selection dot length. Okay, and here this will be this dot selection will be equal, this selection at I will be equal to selection at I. Okay, and after we do this, we will notify dataset changed again. Okay, and of course right here we will also check the selection in order for us to select the view. So we'll say if selection is different than null, because it may not initialize yet, and selection at I, not I, is position here, selection at position. So here we have a new selection, or maybe we can do this in an inner loop, an inner if. Okay, so we will cut this right here, and inside this if we will check if selection at position. We will go and say holder dot set holder dot info that set background color to color dot, and we can search for a cool color like gray, for example. Okay, so if this is selected, we will set this to gray, and if it's not selected, we have to set it to white. Okay, holder.info.set background color white. Okay, as simple as that. Now we have to send and set the selection from the onResume method. So we go to the onResume method right here, and right here we will say, so the amount of the size of selection will be the same size of files that length. So we go and say selection equals new boolean array, and this is files that length. Okay, now we have allocated the memory, and we also have to know when an item is selected. For doing that, we will set the long click listener. For that, we go and say list view that set on item long click listener, and we go and tap new on item long click listener, and inside here we can select or not select the cell. Okay, so we will use onClick to select, and we will also use long click to unselect. Okay, so we will set on long click listener, and he will say selection at position. Okay, will equal the negation of selection at position. As simple, as elegant as that. And after we do this, we will say text adapter 1 set selection. Okay, so basically what are we telling here is that when an onClick happens, if we have if it's selected, please unselect it, and if it's unselected, please select it. So we will run the app and see if this works. Okay, so we have here our app, and if we long click the first element, then it's selected, and if we long click the second, the same thing happens. If we long click the second again, it's unselected. If we long click the first again, it's unselected. So here we may want to have a sort of a different color to select this, maybe. Okay, so we will, instead of use gray, we will use a more light color. Okay, so to do that, we go to our adapter, and instead of gray, we will specify a new color. It will say ARGB, and alpha will be 0, R will be maybe 8, and 8. And now this will hopefully be a more light color. So we will run the app again, and we will, okay. Oh, is that much light? Is too much light, I think. RGB, okay, maybe we did something different, so we will not use 8, we may use 5, for example. 5, 5, 5. Or an alpha, we have to set it to 1, I think, or to... Oh, how do we set alpha? Okay, what if we set it to 1? Let's see. Maybe alpha 0 means that we are making it transparent. Okay. We will set alpha to a higher value. Okay, we will set alpha maybe to 0xff. Can we do that? Let's see if it works. So alpha to 0xff, and now we will select, and it works great. Okay, and now of course instead of 5 we will go back and maybe use 9. Okay. Maybe the alpha value is wrong. Maybe here we will tap 100 alpha. That will maybe be what we want. Okay, I think that's better. I think this is better. I think this is better, and we can now unselect all of these, and this is great. Okay, so I hope you enjoy it, and I see you in the next video.